So as you guys know, last night WWE had a press conference that was labeled by The Rock himself to be one that will be talked about forever. Now, WWE has been procrastinating the decision being made by Cody Rhodes to ultimately reside in more eyes being on the press conference that we saw last night. So rather than them having his make decision on Monday Night Raw, he was then interrupted by Drew McIntyre, which leads a lot of people to believe at that point in time that Cody would inevitably get his main event spot either back or just keep it as he did have it prior, because some people are now speculating that we may even be getting Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn at night one of WrestleMania to now culminate with night two. Night two of WrestleMania will now be main evented by Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. But how did we get there? Let's talk about it.
Cue the standing ovation!
What an amazing moment. We are blessed.
And essentially, just to skip all the nonsense, all the filler, we're going to get straight into the main event, right? The one thing I will acknowledge, CM Punk did a phenomenal job on the press conference. Pat McAfee did a phenomenal job painting The Rock as what he would inevitably become at the end of the press conference, which I will get to. And then, of course, the other thing was Triple H briefly spoke about the culmination of what WrestleMania has done for WWE. We'll skip all that. Bianca came out, yapped. She didn't need to cut a promo, it was pointless. And then quickly, I'll explain why I think Bayley wasn't on the show, because a lot of people were probably going to ask about that. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this point of view. I think they're utilizing Bayley not being promoted, not being shown, not being featured or anything like that as a way for her to garner sympathy from the audience, to which then her babyface turn will hit more because the crowd will actually sympathize with her and understand, like, damn, she really has been here a long time. We've known that she's been here for a long time. She's like more or less the standard bearer of the women's division, and she hasn't really been featured. That's true. I'm gonna continue cheering for this woman because I too am in under, relatability with the audience, right? Anyways, let's move on from that. Following the events of what happened last night, the King of Kings, the cerebral assassin, Hunter Hearst Paul Levesque, Helmsley, sorry, Triple H, the man with three H's, the man with the golden shovel. He's going to appear on SmackDown tonight to explain and address what transpired last night, which I will now also give my thoughts on. If you guys want my reaction to that, let me know by dropping a like on the video and commenting down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. We got to talk about essentially what happened with the four men in the main event of the press conference. Seth Rollins comes out. He starts talking to the crowd for a minute or two. Roman Reigns then interrupts him after Seth is trying to introduce Cody Rhodes. The Roman Reigns comes out. Roman Reigns says, basically with his face and his mannerisms, that he does not need to wait for when someone tells him to come out. He comes out when he feels like it. Seth Rollins says to Roman, hey, oh my God, he actually showed up for work today. And then Roman goes, oh wow, he's wearing his wife's shoes. Anyways, so I thought that was a little pretty funny rebuttal there. I would really love to see Seth and Roman have an actual program down the line with their current iteration of their current characters. I think that would be fantastic. We then fast forward to The Rock coming out. The Rock essentially at first starts kind of rocking with the crowd, and the crowd is a little bit cheering him for the most part, right? He's like, for the millions and millions, and he's explaining how like Roman and Rock is going to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time, this and that. He then shows his bloodline tree, to which he then starts explaining the significance and the oath that Roman's side of the family and his side of the family have made, right? They basically decided to agree to become like a super family for the Cliff Notes version. And The Rock continues to explain the significance of this family, the lineage, the legacy, etc., right? Which then tries to give you a picture of why Rock and Roman make sense in his mind, right? So Roman Reigns and Rock ultimately lock in with their hands, right? Prior to this, Roman says that he does pick The Rock. And of course, The Rock says that it's going to be the biggest blockbuster of all time, blah, blah, blah. They lock in. Rock says that there can only be one head of the table, which is why this match is happening. It has history, it has lineage, and it makes the most amount of sense for the time that it's happening. To which then Cody Rhodes comes up. To which he comes out and he says this.
Here you are talking about family. Is that what the bloodline is? Let me ask you a question. How's Jay?
Oh, so he starts asking about how Jay's doing, right? Because Jay's on Raw.
You're a meal ticket, and they are nothing but lackeys, but yes men. They're goons.
It's talking about Jimmy Solo
What
and
is
Jay.
this match all about right here? Who sits at the head of the table? What does it matter when neither of you have been doing any of the cooking for 2 years?
Hilarious. Now, the way that I perceive that line of him saying that y'all haven't been doing the cooking for 2 years, in my opinion, implies that he is saying that he is technically the head of WWE, like that he is the face of it. Let me know your interpretation on that, because I could be, obviously just reading into it.
Earlier, we had that family tree up there, and you've invoked my father before, so let me go ahead and do the same. If your grandfather was here,
Damn.
if the High Chief,
Grandfather was here.
grandfather was here,
Jeez.
they'd be ashamed of you.
Be ashamed of you, boy. That's nuts. But Roman has such a class act when it comes to selling his facial expressions. Respectfully, none of these promos would work as well or hit as hard as they do if the camera work wasn't there to zoom in on Roman's facial reactions and actually capture Roman almost looking like he's broken, like he's like really affected by the words being told to him. And that's what makes Roman Reigns a class A seller, in my opinion, in regards to not just the ring, but the actual facial expressions he conveys when he's getting cooked by someone. Now, here's where things took a turn for the worst and ultimately resulted in what I will explain in a moment, but in Rock's heel turn, right? So The Rock tells Cody, hey, when you're talking about his family, you're talking about mine. When you're talking about his bloodline, you're talking about mine. And that's not going to happen. To which he then does this. Slaps Cody Rhodes. Paul Heyman's reaction is hilarious, as you can see there. And I thought that this was such a perfect way to set up what we could be seeing down the line, right? A lot of people were saying, oh, well, now we're going to get, Seth and Cody in a tag match because Seth, stepped up basically. Which, by the way, aligns perfectly with Seth's character, right? Seth has always been one to fight back, or at least in this revolutionary character, he's always been one to fight back the outsider. He did that when Cody Rhodes first came into the company. He did that with CM Punk. And now he's doing it again with The Rock. He's even gone after Roman a couple times for being a part-timer because Seth has been a company man through and through. That's his character. He's like, he bleeds WWE. And it makes perfect sense here. So I don't, there was a few people questioning this decision. I don't question it because Seth has respect for Cody Rhodes and what he's accomplished. He even said it. So there's no reason why he would not come to the aid of Cody Rhodes. Anyways, fast forwarding. People are saying that they'd like to see a tag match. I'd be okay with that, but Seth can't really fight right now. He's probably not going to be ready to go for another month at bare minimum. Which anyways, we then, start seeing Roman and Rock coinciding with one another. A lot of people's opinions here, they feel like The Rock basically little bros Roman Reigns here when they start walking away. Personally, I think in this scenario, yeah, he is getting a little broed. But if I had to put something of my own speculation on here, I think Cody Rhodes and The Rock are in cahoots. It goes back to the promo of not only what The Rock said on his Instagram about long game, but what Cody Rhodes said about taking everything away. Cody beats Roman for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. The Rock, in some capacity, and I hope that don't overshadow Cody Rhodes' victory. I hope he doesn't get involved because Cody Rhodes needs to pin Roman Reigns clean. A lot of people are like, oh, but then Rock could interfere, and turn his back on Roman and during the match and no, bro. No. Would it make sense from a story-wise? Maybe. But it would make Cody Rhodes look weak. And if they're putting all this work into try to get him into such a big babyface role, they cannot have The Rock interfere in the match. Unless they make him a special guest referee or something like that. To which point, even then, I don't think it'll overshadow the victory so long as he doesn't get involved. That's just my opinion. Then you could have the next Friday night on SmackDown. Rock comes out, confronts Roman Reigns. Me, you, WrestleMania 41, head of the table status. You have 1 year to prepare before I take everything else from you, or something like that. And I think that that's the way that they should do it. Would I like to see a tag match between Seth, Cody, Rock, and Roman? Sure, I'm down. You can do that at SummerSlam if you want. Whatever. Or Survivor Series, I don't really care. But Cody needs to pin Roman Reigns clean. Now, I'm actually very curious about what happens today because there was a bit of a heated exchange backstage. And let me just paraphrase this by saying that this entire press conference, or at least the last 20 minutes of it, was
Cinema.
before I show you guys the backstage thing that happened between them and Triple H tweeted out that this match is now official. The Rock, sorry, no correlation here. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship will take place at WrestleMania. Although they don't say night 1 or 2, it'll most likely happen on night 2. Unless they throw a swerve at us and have Cody Roman night 1 and then, Roman Rock night 2, which I don't know if that would make a lot of sense. Because I firmly believe that Io and Bayley should main event night 1. So while the press conference was coming to a conclusion, we saw The Rock, again, walking in front of Roman Reigns, which again is leading to my little bro point. But then he says this to Triple H.
You got to fix it. Fix it. Have them talk shit about our family again. And that's what happens.
It's out of line. You know it.
It's not out of line. How much? Have them talk shit. If you don't fix it, we will. Have them family again.
So that last part was censored, but he basically says, have him talk about our effing family again. That's what he says.
Have them family again.
He says, and then someone translated that he basically said that he'll slap his teeth down his throat, which sounds like something The Rock would say, to be honest. And then here we see Roman Reigns, again, being the one to follow The Rock. It is incredibly interesting because we've actually never seen Roman Reigns in the little bro like beta situation since he's become the tribal chief character. We've always seen him as him being the head of the table, him manipulating and gaslighting others. So it'd be really interesting to see if The Rock is actually going to do this to him, how Roman Reigns will react to it, what's going to lead to his inevitable maybe babyface turn, if any, and how Roman Reigns will control the bloodline continuing moving forward now that The Rock is there, right? Like, I also want to see an interaction between Rock and Jimmy, because that is going to be hilarious. Tonight, we should also be hearing from Io Sky as well as Bayley. Tonight's SmackDown is probably going to be the most important SmackDown of this year so far. Now, with that being said, that's all I got for you guys, man. I just wanted to give my thoughts on everything, what I felt while I watched it. Please feel free to drop a like, comment your opinion about the press conference. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.